this is something pretty incredible that we're getting to see.
At 2:49 at the bell, look at the distance between the rest of the field. Lyndon Hall and Laura Muir, the
That's crazy.
silver medalist back there, but it is all Kipyegon and not getting away from her just yet.
This is a huge thing that we are witnessing this year. And I'm just going to have to call it early.
If they could just maintain what we're seeing right now.
Hold on. Before we continue, Jessica Hull, she's doing a pretty good job to hold on to Faith Kipyegon, especially with, what, a 5-second personal best that she had in this race. Let's go ahead.
We could be looking at another one of those special things that we've gotten the chance to see today.
He is really trying not to call it too early, saying special things instead of, you know, so many times they say, oh, this might be a world record. And then it isn't.
Record is 3:49.11.
Yeah, he waited till the home straightaway this time.
Kipyegon against the clock. And to the line, a world record.
All right, so she comes by with a world record. The reason why this is such a big thing, let's look at some people here. Let's look at what she's done first. Here are her honors. This is Faith Kipyegon. I'm going to look at her on the World Athletics profile right here, okay? Look at all of this. Look at all of this. 4 times world champion, 2 times Olympic champion, world champion, silver medalist twice. And remember, in 2019, when she got second in the 1500, she had just had a baby. Not just a few months before that. And came back. And that's where Sifan Hassan had been able to take advantage of that and get that win. Because a lot of people were talking about Hassan at that moment, saying, doping, Alberto Salazar and all of that stuff. And so she was running angry. She was trying to prove a message. And then Faith obviously got second in that race. But let's look at this. The Olympic Games. No one has gotten anything better. The person everybody argues as arguably the greatest miler of our time, of all time, actually, would be between Noureddin Morsali and Hisham El Garouj. Hisham El Garouj won once, and he got tripped another time. And I think that's where Morsali actually took advantage of that win, right? Okay. Oh, looks like my rabbit. If you hear the tip-topping, that's the rabbit in the background. I'm not editing anything out. I record these like a live stream. So anyway, he got a win in 1992 in Barcelona. All right, in the 1500. Then again, he defended his Olympic championships title with a win in Atlanta. All right, if you go down his profile, 3 times world championships champion, and then he got 4th, of course. That was his last one at the World Championships, and then he kind of retired not too long after that. But dang. If you look at his profile, you look at the cross-country championships, Continental Cup, the Grand Prix, which is before the Diamond League and everything like that. He's got a decent amount of wins, right? Now, when you look at Faith, if you already could tell it's a little bit longer. Obviously, things are different. They had 4 rounds back then instead of the prelims, semis, and finals, like for the 1500, 5000, all of that stuff. So it's a little bit different, to give credit. But no other athlete, male or female, has gotten 3 Olympic Games titles. Is this a year? She just set a world record. She even said, I wasn't expecting it. She wasn't expecting it. She just wanted to see where her fitness was. That would have been her 3rd race. What we just saw there, that was the 3rd race this year. She's been very under-raced. She's been keeping it under wraps. Her and coach just doing what they need to do the training, and said, all right, let's see where your fitness is. And she saw where her fitness was. Her fitness is the world record. Her fitness is just about there. She broke it a little bit, which was her own world record, but she set in personal bests, which happened to be the world record this year. Who is touching her? I would be surprised if she loses. If she loses to anybody but really 2 athletes. Sifan Hassan doesn't have the kick anymore, so I don't see her getting it. She just ran that 1500, and she was, what, 4th place? There were just too many athletes that were passing her up, or at least 3rd. Too many athletes passing her up on the same day that this world record was set. She was running a slow race in the middle of her marathon training, and she just doesn't have the wheels anymore. She may have had a lot of range, but that 1500 is probably more like the 800. Yeah, she's going to be fast or decent in the 800 in the past, but she couldn't win anything with that, especially after some rounds. Now her 1500's turning into that. I don't know if she even gets a medal. Obviously, if it's a little bit more tactical, I mean, she's going to get outkicked. She doesn't have the speed. She's going to have it run at a certain pace, but then that's kind of antithesis to her marathon training. So I just wonder, getting back to Faith, let's look at this. 2-time Olympic champion, first in Rio, then she came back in Tokyo and defended her title. Look at the World Championships titles. Let's just look here. It literally matches up. The further back you go, the worse she did, right? Back there in Russia, she got 5th place in 2013. Then she comes by in Beijing. She upgrades that to 2nd. All right, in 2015. Then she won in London, because we got to go in order. Then she had a baby. And then just a few months later, got a silver. All right. Then another win in Budapest, or in Oregon in 2022. And then winning in Budapest in not just the 1500, but the 5000. You know, another thing that I would like to see, I'd like to see her try to go after that 3000 meter world record, because it seems like the last time she went on a good faith effort, no pun intended, actually when she did run it in 2022, she didn't run as well as she did in 2014, which is very curious. She was like 20 seconds off of her best time in 2014. Obviously, you're not always going to have your best race. Conditions are a little bit different and things like that. But that 3000 world record, that was controversial. It was controversial. I think I might save that for a different video, but just so you guys know, let me pull this one up on the screen. The coach for the current 3000 meter world record, which used to be also the 10,000 meter world record. And it was like a lot of people sighed in relief when that was broken, but also was like, wait a minute, how? But they sighed in relief because there's a lot of stuff coming out over that. I'm not even going to bring that up too much here, but the coach that was over that team called Maz Army, he admitted to physically beating the athletes. Talk about getting yourself whipped into shape. This man was beating. This is the guy right there in the picture, the coach. He was beating the athletes, and he was taking their bonuses. So this guy over there, he got fired from the team in Sydney and whatnot. But he was physically beating the athletes. So he was definitely getting them in shape. But was it needed to beat the athletes? I don't know. So, needless to say, I can't wait until that 3000 meter world record can be challenged. And I think the perfect person to do that, since she already went after that 5000, got the 1500, get the one that's in between. That was trouble for Hisham El Garouj too. Something about that 2 mile, 3000 in between that mile and that 5000 just kind of troubles people that can hold the world record at the mile, hold the world record 1500, hold it at the 5000, or run extremely fast, but they can't get that 1500. But looking down here, look at all the Diamond League final wins that she's got. 2013, which was 2023, 2022, 2021. Man, she just over here dominated 2017 and in 2015 when it was run as the mile. She just coming year after year and just getting those. Then we go down here. Here's the last thing. All of these Diamond League wins. This reminds me of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Do y'all remember when I brought up her list of her profile? Obviously, it's going to put some of the highlights here. It's not going to have all of those, especially when somebody's winning. They're not necessarily going to put a second or third here. I'm sure there may be some second, thirds, and whatnot in here, especially as you go further back in time. But the amount of wins that she got, this reminds me of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. I would argue that Faith Kipyegon is the greatest 1500 meter athlete that we have seen in this sport. 1500 meter miler that we've seen in this sport. I will argue that she's the greatest of all time because of all of what she is doing. She is dominating this. She not only just wins, she comes out to dominate. And they didn't even put her latest win yet, because this hasn't even been updated on the honors that she just did here in July of 2024. So that hasn't even been updated on this Diamond League win just yet. But look at this. How many wins do you got in the 800, the 1000? You got those thrown in there with the mile and 1500. So this changes everything. I believe that she's going to be the one, the first athlete to be able to get 3 1500-meter Olympic titles. That is going to be crazy. And I'm 100% pulling for. It's not going to be just a cakewalk and easy, as we saw Jessica hold in that video at the beginning of this. Already hold on for so long. If she isn't bringing her A game, somebody might be able to snip her, right? Especially if this, I don't know, is she going to run this again just from the gun and just have this a blazing pace? Because remember, she did that at one of them. She typically has gone to the lead and was like, bam, I'm just going. She's run, I think, 2 of her wins at these world championships where she actually kind of was in the rest of the pack and whatnot and then did that. But she apparently likes to lead and just destroy the rest of the crowd. If she's in the shape for it, hey, have it like a Prefontaine. I'm going to run this hard and y'all going to have to try to catch me. And she already knows she got a heavy kick. See, now the thing is, does she believe that she has the confidence of that kick still while also having a 5,000 meter in her legs? You know, training for a 5,000 is a slower pace than a 1,500. So some of that may detract from the speed, but I am 100% confident that she's going to add not only the 1,500 goal, but then she may have a 5,000 meter. Because a lot of the 1,500 meter athletes move up to the 5,000 and then they kind of sort of retire out because them transitioning even to the 10,000 or the marathon does not seem to work out. Let's look at Bernard Lagat for one of those athletes that has done that. Usually it's somebody already doing the 5,000 and then we see them potentially later in the marathon. But somebody that does the 1,500, that is few and far between. What do you guys think about this? I think that she's going to be the first athlete, male or female, to get 3 Olympic titles. And if you factor in her age, she's 30, this would be the time to do it. She may or may not still be in 1,500 meter shape come the next Olympics, assuming that she's still going to be doing the sport at that time. We never know. She may want to retire and say, hey, I've won and I've done everything that I can. But the fact that she set a world record at 30 right now, again, and so she's right at her personal best area, this is going to be crazy. I'm excited to see it. Y'all already know that I'm already looking forward to this. So you guys, let me know what you guys think about this one. She's always a joy to look at on the track, always coming out there doing what she needs to do. So I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace out. And I've been Nick, your host here at Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise, like this one, that are head and shoulders above the rest.